Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here of businesswithtrading.com, bringing an S&P Market Analysis video for the week beginning Sunday, the 23rd of July. And let's get to it. The market has been very interesting as of late, and if you followed me for over a year, I've been talking about the 2500 level for a little while now, and now we're very close to it. You see we popped up into our resistance box last week. We did drop down a little bit, and right now I'm looking for another move up, probably next week, the week after next, set a temporary top, and then after a few months looking to go higher than that, close to 2600. 2550 to 2600 would be what I would be looking for. But, that's quite a ways away. That's probably going to be later on this fall-ish. So right now, basically, if price can stay above that 2460 to 2450 area, then there's a good chance it will push further up close to 2500. I'm looking, 2490, 2500, and of course we have an area at 2506. Not really looking at that too closely, but 2500 is going to be big, 2490. So that will be interesting. I wouldn't expect it to just take straight up from here. I would expect it to maybe chop around a little bit more and then start moving up. Either way, it should be pretty interesting to see what it actually does do. And whatever we do, we are very close to a temporary top. At least that's what I'm looking at right now. So what does a temporary top mean? We talked about this last week. Basically looking for a price to reach a temporary area and start heading lower. So let's say if price chopped around and then broke that 2450 level. I have this red arrow here and it coincides with this level. So if it were to break down, I would look for price to actually start breaking down. Of course, if it drops down and gets right back above the same day, that's not really necessarily a break. A break, in my opinion, is something that breaks this level and stays below it. Maybe it breaks it and runs 10 points below. That would be a pretty hardcore break there. So that's what I'm watching. If it were to break down from here, I would look for it to come down in this box here. 2320 down into 2288. That's what I would be looking for. Yeah, I didn't move the box over here to make it align with this one, but we've had this level in our charts for quite some time now. And what we look for is pretty much your highest probable areas. And we've had that on our charts for a while, just in case if the market did break down. Over here we had this 2400 level, never broke, no worries, market kept going higher. Then we had, I think, this area here, market kept going up. Now we have this area here. I'm looking for one more high, but I like to play whatever the market tells me to play. So if price actually were to not make another high and break this 2450 level, I would be looking for downside. And then once it gets down here, I'll be looking to buy the market. Obviously things change, analysis changes. We don't get paid to make analysis. Analysis you can look at as a dime a dozen, but most of the analysis out there is really shitty. And I don't name names, I don't do any of that. That's not how I roll, but there's a lot of half-assed analysis out there. To be a trader, you need to have a game plan, and that's basically what this is. Our Sunday market analysis is a game plan. And just like how football teams have game plans sometimes change. Sometimes you start your game and one of your star players gets injured, your game plan is going to change. Or let's say one of your star players gets a bad penalty and gets kicked out of the game. Maybe it was their fault, maybe it wasn't. Doesn't really matter, because then the game plan has to change to adapt to that. And trading's the same way. But instead of your star football player getting injured, hurt, kicked out of the game, whatever, price decides to do something different, and then we have to alter our game plan for that new information. So hopefully that makes sense. I've had some questions about different indicators and whatnot, and you guys know I'm very old school. I don't use a lot of different indicators, or the way we say the word indicator, I don't use any. But the true definition of indicator, yeah, obviously we do use some, because price right here, this candlestick, is an indicator. But the way we talk about indicators, it's not. So, ipso facto, it is what it is. So basically that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to make another high, watching that 2450, 2460 area, because if it were to come back down, that would give very, very tight reward to risk. And if it were to break down, I would expect it to break down pretty strongly, and that should allow some downside money to be made there. So we'll have to see what happens. It should be an interesting week. It should be a fun week. I'm thinking 1 to 2 weeks away from a temporary top. We'll see what actually does happen. It should be a pretty fun rest of the year. So we'll see what happens. What are you guys trading this week? Feel free to respond. What are you looking for? Something slightly different than I'm looking for? Whatever. Feel free to respond. Love questions. That's what really makes the channel go. So thanks for watching. Have a great, great trading week. Have an awesome rest of your day. I'll see you back here in the markets. Thank you.